Big story that we've been following. The NYPD responding to controversy now following hip-hop superstar Drake's Apollo Theater concert. The agency says it was not shooting video of people leaving the concert to profile anyone.
But that's what a lot of people may still be thinking after the police were seen shooting videos at the Apollo. The NYPD says it was just social media material, and now they've released clips of it. Take a look.
All right, everybody, so you know what we got coming up. We got 2 nights of Drake, one of the most well-known artists in the world. It's going to bring out a lot of people. So the bottom line is we're going to do what we do best. We're going to keep people safe, but also be community-friendly.
So did the NYPD go too far and needlessly arouse suspicion? Well, the 28th Precinct serves Central Harlem and the Apollo. The commander is Captain Tariq Shepard, and he's here this morning to explain what exactly happened. First, thanks for joining us live in studio. It's good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So let's start. I mean, how did this happen? Whose idea was it to have a police officer out there shooting video?
Right. So it's definitely my idea, and it started from the point of we have to tell a story of keeping people safe, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of planning, weeks of planning for an artist like Drake to come to the Apollo and have a successful concert, but a safe concert. And so the idea was to make sure that we get that message out to the community because it's important. It's important for our cops to be seen in that positive light, but it's also important for businesses to know that they can come to Harlem and do events like this and we'll keep it safe.
You know, so I guess the question may be, when you saw the video kind of circulating on social media, it went viral pretty quickly, 20 million views of people saying, whoa, 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 this was profiling. When you look at it now at face value, could there have been a different way to maybe approach the situation, or were people just, was this Twitter doing Twitter?
Yeah, I think if we were to do it all over again, what I would have done is try and get out faster to say what we were doing. But I don't think I would change doing videos to make sure that people know the work that the cops are doing to keep these events safe. Because, you know, the other way is if something goes wrong, you know, there will be no hesitation to talk about the negative that's going on up in Harlem. And so when things are going well and you have an artist like this, historic visit to the Apollo, we have to talk about it, and we have to talk about it from the police department side, not just the mainstream stuff that the artist is putting out, but from the law enforcement side, we have to talk about how public safety is the backbone of being able to do these type of events.
Yeah, the Apollo's having another big show tonight. Some big artists, a 50th anniversary of hip-hop, Lil Kim, Ashanti, Remy Ma, they're all going to be there. Are you going to have an officer out there again recording video for your social media? We'll
try and see what kind of ways, what we need, what I think we should capture. But we're not going to shy away from doing social media. The one thing that we wanted people to know is that this has nothing to do with some facial recognition program or anything like that. This is purely to let our community and those that are interested know the truth that it takes a lot to keep these events safe. It takes a lot of work, but our cops are proud of that, and they want to be out there, and they want to be involved in these type of concerts and events at the Apollo.
So just to reiterate, because you said something very interesting about the facial recognition, and that is where people went, right, because of what's going on at Madison Square Garden. There's a big conversation about facial recognition. Talk to us about this, because when you think of facial recognition, you think high tech, and within the NYPD, you certainly have the capabilities to do that. But in this case, zero in on what was being used and why that may be different than what you use for facial recognition.
Right. I'm assuming, you know, and I'm no expert on facial recognition, but I'm assuming it takes some pretty high-tech devices to be able to capture someone's image and then recognize who they are and transfer that data somewhere else. But never did I think that an officer with a selfie stick and an iPhone 10 would be considered to be facial recognition. But I do also understand that how fast things can go viral on social media, whether it's true or untrue.
And that night, when it was actually happening, did anyone approach any of your officers and say, what's going on here? Why are you recording?
No, it actually was the reverse. And that was the reason. We were done filming. It was the reverse. So many people were coming out saying thank you to us. And even Sunday, the officers worked 8 hours in the rain. And you know, you can't leave your post, and they were drenched. But they were, you know, committed to making sure that this show was safe. And so many people were coming up thanking us for being out there that I said, hey, why don't we, you know, capture some of this? And people were coming up taking pictures. So that quick image that you saw or short video, it doesn't represent what was happening, obviously. And we see that all the time on social media.
Yeah, just real quickly, yesterday in the state of the NYPD, they talked about improving relations between youth and the NYPD. Social media is key, really. So is this going to be something, just the beginning? Are you going to be doing more on social media to connect with the young people in our communities?
Absolutely. But if you look back at our social media, you see our drive that we did where we fed the homeless and we fed, and a lot of young kids came up who were hungry on Thanksgiving. You look at our toy drive that we did. We've been putting up videos and doing these type of things in the community for a while, and we're going to continue to do that. We're not going to shy away from that because of one tweet that went up that was actually false.
Understood. All right, Captain Tariq Shepard, Commanding Officer of the 28th Precinct in Harlem. Appreciate you coming in to talk about this. I know there's a lot going on and a lot of chatter on social media, and it can go one way, but thank you for coming in to talk about it.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.